Good afternoon to everybody. Today's topic is oxidative stress. This is continues with the antioxidants. So now see the definition for the oxidation. A disturbance in the balance between the reactive oxygen species, that is ROS, and antioxidants. A disturbance in the balance between the reactive oxygen species and antioxidants. If you see under normal conditions, cells are able to balance the production of antioxidants and oxidants. What is the oxidative stress? When it is occurs? Oxidative stress occurs when there is an imbalance in our cells due to either an increase in free radicals or a decrease in antioxidants. So increase in free radicals or decrease in antioxidants. The body has several mechanisms to counteract the oxidative stress by producing the antioxidants, that is produced by either in situ or exogenous. So that is the endogenous and exogenous antioxidants property. Endogenous and exogenous antioxidants act as a free radical scavengers by preventing and repairing the damage caused by the ROS and RNS. ROS means reactive oxygen species and RNS means reactive nitrogen substances. So these are enhances the immune defense and lower the risk of cancers and degenerative disease. So endogenous and exogenous antioxidants enhances the immune defense and lower the risk of cancer and degenerative diseases. See the role of antioxidants. The role of antioxidants are neutralize the excess of free radicals to protect the cells against their toxic effects and contribute the disease prevention. So altogether is nothing but is to contribute the disease prevention and also play the major role in the development of chronic and degenerative elements such as cancer, arthritis, aging, autoimmune disorders, cardiovascular and neurodegenerative disorders. Now see the characteristics of free radicals and oxidants. A molecule with one or unpaired electron in its outer orbit is called the free radicals. The free radicals contains one or more unpaired electrons in their outer orbit. The free radicals are formed from molecules via the breakage of the chemical bonds. Example is ROS and RNS, that is nothing but is reactive oxygen species and reactive nitrogen species. So what are the oxidants? The oxidants are non-radical reactive derivatives. Oxidants are non-reactive derivatives and the radicals are less stable than the non-radical species. That means free radicals are less stable than the oxidant species. And although their reactivity is generally stronger. See the examples for the free radicals, that is include hydroxyl, superoxide, nitric oxide, nitrogen dioxide, peroxide and lipid peroxide, hydrogen peroxide, ozone, singlet oxygen, hypochlorous acid, nitrous acid, peroxynitrate, dinitrogen trioxide. So these are all ROS and RNS are generated from either endogenous or exogenous sources. So reactive oxygen species and reactive nitrogen species are generated from either endogenous or exogenous species. Now see the sources of the endogenous free radicals. That is immune cell activation, inflammation, mental stress, excessive exercise, ischemia, infection, cancer and aging. These are the causes for the endogenous free radicals. So exogenous ROS and RNS generated from the air and water pollution, cigarette smoke, alcohol, heavy or transition metals and certain drugs. These are mainly sources for the exogenous reactive oxygen species and reactive nitrogen species. And also is the industrial solvent, cooking, that is cooking smoked meat, used oil and fat and radiations. These are all causes for the exogenous ROS and RNS generated. After penetration into the body by different routes, these exogenous compounds are decomposed or metabolized into the free radicals. So after penetration into the body by different routes, that is exogenous compounds are decomposed or metabolized into the free radicals. See the formation of the free radicals, that is from the ionizing radiations, from the smoking, from the air pollution, from the metabolism, that is nothing but from the mitochondria, and from the inflammation and UV light. These are all our causes for the DNA damage. See the antioxidants property and antioxidant rich food containing rich foods. That is berries and cherries, citrus, plums, honey, dark chocolate, herbs and species and nuts are contained in the antioxidant rich foods. These are involved in to scavenge the free radicals. And endogenous antioxidants. Example for the endogenous antioxidants: vitamin, minerals, amino acids, and enzymes. The vitamins, that is vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin E, and vitamin K comes under the endogenous vitamins, shows the antioxidant properties. Minerals, example zinc and selenium, so comes under the endogenous antioxidants. And amino acids, glutathione, methionine, N-acetylcysteine, these are example for the endogenous antioxidants. And enzymes, coenzyme Q10, superoxide dismutase, glutathione peroxidase, and NAD+. These are the example for the antioxidant enzymes. Now see the function of the free radical. The free radicals are the waste substances that is produced by the cells as the body processes food and reacts to the environment. If the body cannot process and remove the free radicals efficiently from the body, it leads to the oxidative stress. So if the body cannot process and remove the free radicals, and it leads to the oxidative stress. Causes of the oxidative stress, that is from obesity, high diet rich, that is fat, sugar, and processed foods, exposure to the radiations, smoking cigarettes or other tobacco products, alcohol consumption, certain medications, pollution, exposure to the pesticides or industrial chemicals. These are all our causes for the oxidative stress. So here it is: smoking and diet rich, that is fat, and medications and treatments, air and water pollution, and from fast foods, and from stress, and contaminations, excessive exercise, pesticides, alcohol consumption when exposed to the toxins, and also is inadequate amount of physical activity. These are all our causes for the oxidative stress. Some common diseases are linked to the oxidative stress. What are they? See here it is: damage to the biomolecules like lipids, proteins, DNA will eventually lead to the diseases like atherosclerosis, cancer, diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, myocardial infarction, cardiovascular diseases, and chronic inflammation. These are all the common diseases linked with the oxidative stress. See here it is: oxidative stress that is linked with the diabetes, atherosclerosis, cancer, neurological diseases, arthritis, and aging, and fatty liver disease. See the oxidative stress affected with the individual organ, that is skin, gastrointestinal, lung, that is asthma, hypoxia, in joint, that is rheumatoid arthritis, in kidney, that is renal graft and glomerulonephritis, and here it is heart, that is here it is selenium deficiency, and multi organs, that is inflammatory immunes, injury ischemia, and diabetes, radiations, aging, and cancer. And affected to the brain, that is Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, neurotoxins, trauma, and stroke. See the deleterious activities of the free radicals and oxidants and pathogens. When free radicals and oxidants produced in excess generate a phenomenon called the oxidative stress, a deleterious process that can seriously alter the cell membranes and other structures such as proteins, lipids, lipoproteins, and deoxyribonucleic acid. When the free radicals are in excess, that leads to the alter the cell membranes and other structures, that is such as proteins, lipids, lipoproteins, and deoxyribonucleic acid. Oxidative stress can arise when cells cannot adequately destroy the excess of free radicals formed. So oxidative stress can arise when cells cannot adequately destroy the excess of free radicals formed, or oxidative stress results from an imbalance between the formation of neutralization of reactive oxygen species or reactive nitrogen species. For example, hydroxy radical and peroxynitrate in excess can damage the cell membranes and lipoproteins by processes called the lipid peroxidation. So this reaction leads to the formation of the malondiide and conjugate the diene compounds which are cytotoxic and mutagenic. So in lipid peroxidation leads to the formation of malondiide and conjugate the diene compounds which are cytotoxic and mutagenic. When lipid peroxidation occurs, the lipid peroxidation occurs by a radical chain reaction. That means that is once started, it spreads rapidly and affects a great number of lipid molecules. Not only the lipid peroxidation, proteins also may be damaged by the reactive oxygen species and reactive nitrogen species, leading to the structural changes and loss of enzymes activity. And oxidative damage to the DNA leads to the formation of different oxidative DNA lesions, which can cause the mutations. The body has several mechanisms to counteract these attacks by using DNA repair enzymes or antioxidants. If not regulated properly, oxidative stress can induce a variety of chronic and degenerative diseases, as well as the aging process and some acute pathologies, that is trauma and stroke. Cancer is one of the major heterogeneous diseases with high morbidity and mortality with poor prognosis. Now see the common hallmarks of the cancer. So that is elevated levels of reactive oxygen species, alteration in redox balance, and deregulated redox signaling. Mitochondria contribute mainly in the generation of ROS, that is reactive oxygen species, during oxidative phosphorylation. Now elevated levels of reactive oxygen species that is detected in cancer cells. See, that is high metabolic activity, cellular signaling, peroxisomal activity, mitochondrial dysfunction, activation of oncogene, increased enzymatic activity of oxidases, cyclooxygenases, lipoxygenases, and thymidine phosphorylases. So these are the elevated levels of ROS have been detected in cancers. How generated the ROS, that is reactive oxygen species, how generated by macrophages. During the course of phagocytosis, inflammatory cells, particularly the macrophages, produce a superoxide by a reaction catalyzed by the NADPH oxidase. This superoxide gets converted to the H2O2 and then to hypochlorous acid. The superoxide radical along with the hypochlorous ion brings about the bacterial action. This truly represents the beneficial effects of the free radicals generated by the body. Once again, this one is during the course of phagocytosis, inflammatory cells, particularly the macrophages, produce a superoxide. By the reaction, it is characterized by the NADPH oxidase. And the superoxide radical along with the hypochlorous ions brings about the bactericidal action. For example, a large amount of superoxide consumed by the macrophages during the bacterial cell function, a phenomenon is referred to as a respiratory burst. So in respiratory burst, the large amount of superoxide consumed by the macrophages during their bacterial cell function. But this is estimated by about 10% of the superoxide taken by a macrophages. It is utilized for the generation of free radicals. How to estimate it? That is estimated that about the 10% of the superoxide taken up by macrophages, it is utilized for the generation of free radicals. Now see the free radicals and biomolecules. The free radicals are highly reactive and are capable of damaging the almost all types of biomolecules. Here it is the biomolecules are proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, and nucleic acids. So these biomolecules, the free radicals are highly reactive with the following biomolecules: proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, and nucleic acids. Now see the free radicals and diseases. The free radicals have been implicated in this causation and progression of several diseases like cardiovascular disease, cancer, inflammatory diseases, and respiratory diseases, diabetes, male infertility, aging process. Now see the free radicals and diseases. The first example is cardiovascular disease. That is, in cardiovascular disease, oxidized low density lipoproteins formed by the action of free radicals and promote the atherosclerosis and cardiovascular disease, that is CHD. In cancer, free radicals in cancer, the free radicals can damage the DNA and cause the mutagenicity and cytotoxicity and thus play the key role in the carcinogenesis. And also induce the ROS, that is reactive oxygen species mutations, and inhibit the DNA repair process. That leads to the inactivation of certain tumor suppressor genes, leading to the cancer. And free radicals promote the biochemical and molecular changes for a rapid growth of tumor cells. Now see the free radicals in inflammatory diseases. Example is rheumatoid arthritis. In rheumatoid arthritis is a chronic inflammatory disease. The free radicals are produced by neutrophils or the predominant causative agents. Here it is, the main predominant causative agents are neutrophils. The occurrence of other inflammatory disorders are like chronic glomerulonephritis, ulcerative colitis. Example is collagen and hyaluronic acid. In respiratory diseases, free radicals in respiratory diseases, direct exposure of lungs, that is about 100% of oxygen for a long period, that is more than 24 hours, is known to destroy the endothelium and cause the lung edema. So when lungs are exposed to more than 100% of the oxygen, that is up to 24 hours, is known to destroy the endothelium and cause the lung edema. This is mediated by the free radicals. Now the reactive oxygen species also responsible for the adult respiratory distress. Cigarette smoke as such contain free radicals, and further it promotes the generation of the more free radicals. The damage is caused to the lungs in the smokers are due to the generation of ROS, that is reactive oxygen species. Free radicals in diabetes. Destruction of islets of pancreas due to the accumulation of free radicals is one of the cause for the pathogenesis of insulin-dependent diabetes mellitus. Free radicals in male infertility, that is free radicals also known to reduce the sperm motility and viability, and thus maybe contribute the male infertility. In aging process, free radicals are closely associated with the various biochemical and morphological changes that occurs during the normal aging. Now see the beneficial effects of the free radicals and oxidants. At low or moderate concentration, reactive oxygen species and reactive nitrogen species are necessary for the maturation process of the cellular structures and can act as the weapons for the host defense systems. These ROS and RNS, that is reactive oxygen species and reactive nitrogen species, involve their physiological roles in the function of a number of cellular signaling systems. The nitrogen, here it is a nitric oxide is also important for the non-specific host defense and killing the intracellular pathogens and tumors. And other beneficial activity of the free radicals is the induction of a mitogenic response. Induction of the mitogenic response. Some methods are available for to evaluate the degree of oxidative stress. That is, possible methods by which evaluate the oxidative stress, measurement of active oxygen species themselves, and detection of oxidized DNA and lipids, and quantification of antioxidants. So some methods, that is number one is measurement of active oxygen species, and second one is detection of oxidized DNA and lipids, and third one is quantification of antioxidants. See, here it is the once again the classification and free radicals are entering into the how to dam is the organs. The free radicals are the example for one superoxide, nitric oxide, nitrogen dioxide, peroxide and lipid peroxide, hydrogen peroxide, ozone, singlet oxygen, hypochlorous acid, nitrous acid, and peroxynitric and dinitrogen trioxide. These are all our causes for the formation of the reactive oxygen species and reactive nitrogen species from their endogenous and exogenous sources. The free radicals are generated from the endogenous are immune cells activations, inflammation, mental stress, excessive exercise during the ischemia, infection and cancer and aging. All these conditions, endogenous free radicals are generated. Exogenously, the free radicals are generated from the air and water pollution, cigarette smoke, alcohol, heavier transmitters and certain drugs, industrial solvents, cooking and radiations. All of these exogenous free radicals are exogenous generated ROS and RNS that is penetrated into the body by a different routes, and there it is decomposed or metabolized into the free radicals. When you consume the antioxidants rich foods, that leads to the decrease the generation of the free radicals. And endogenous antioxidants as example for the vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and the enzymes. These are all comes under the endogenous antioxidant, shows the antioxidants property and scavenge the free radicals. So generally the free radicals are the waste substances and produced by the cells. They should be released, thrown out from the body. So if the body cannot process and remove the free radicals, it leads to the oxidative stress. The main causes of the oxidative stress are diet high rich fats, sugars and processed foods, smoking, cigarettes, that is alcohol consumption, certain medications, pollutions, and when you are exposed to the pesticides or industrial chemicals, all leads to the oxidative stress. This oxidative stress leads to the, that is linked with this some diseases like nothing but is atherosclerosis, cancer, diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, myocardial infarction, cardiovascular diseases and chronic inflammations. See here it is. Individual organ effects. Oxidative stress affect the eye and degenerative renal damage and cataractogenesis. The vessel, atherosclerosis, lungs, that is asthma and hyperoxia, in joints, that is rheumatoid arthritis, kidney, affect the kidney, this is renal graft, glomerulonephritis, and heart is, here it is, selenium deficiency, angioplasty. So the elevated levels of reactive oxygen species and in cancers, mainly the high metabolic activity leads to the high metabolic activity, cellular signaling, peroxisomal activity, mitochondrial dysfunction, activation of oncogenes and cyclooxygenases, lipid zinases and thymidine phosphorylases. Generation of ROS, that is reactive oxygen species by macrophages, especially in this the superoxide radical along with the hypochlorous ions brings about the bactericidal action. What is a respiratory burst? In the respiratory burst, the large amount of oxygen is, that is here it is, superoxide consumed by the macrophages during the bactericidal function. A phenomenon is referred to as a respiratory burst. But this is estimated by the about 10% of the superoxide taken up by the macrophages, it utilized for the generation of the free radicals. The free radicals are linked with some diseases, that is cardiovascular diseases, and cancer and inflammatory diseases, respiratory diseases, diabetes and male infertility and aging process. Some beneficial activities of the free radicals, so that is ROS and RNS involve their physiological roles in their functions of a number of cellular signaling systems. So another beneficial activity of the free radical is the induction of the mitogenic response. And ROS, indeed phagocytes, that is released to the release free radicals to destroy the invading pathogenic microbes and as a part of the body defense mechanism against the diseases. Thank you. Sir, మీకు బాగా ఆకలేసిస్తుందా సార్? అవును సార్, నేను ముందే చెప్పాను. వాళ్ళు ఎలాగో వినరు సార్. ఇది